Hello and welcome to Plus TV Africa. I'm Lakwe Banjo with the news on the hour. Spokesman of the Nassarawa State Police Command Assistant Superintendent of Police, Samaila Usman, has confirmed the arrest of 29 persons by the Anti-Cultism Unit Operation Fish Out over the murder of a man, Ibrahim, in Masaka, Karu local government area of Nassarawa State. Speaking with newsmen today in Lafia, ASP Usman explained that investigations on injuries inflicted on 2 persons in Masaka on June 13 revealed that the assault occurred during a cult clash at Angwan Jaba community. According to him, the command learned that the rival cult groups had converged for a reprisal at Angwan Tiv village on June 15th. During which Ibrahim was murdered. Following the violence, a combined team of policemen were drafted to manage the situation and quell the resistance of the cultists, leading to the arrest of 29 suspects. The northern state of Borno has been plagued with years of Islamic insurgency, and since its inception in 2009, it has claimed the lives of more than 30,000 people and left over 2 million internally displaced. The blast occurred in the Shuwari and Abattoir, which are located just outside of Maiduguri. This marks the largest attack in several weeks happening in the area. An estimated 31 have died, according to local residents. However, nobody has claimed responsibility for the attack, and neither has there been a response from the military as of yet. The Operation Lafia Dole Air Task Force in Borno State has confirmed the killing of an unspecified number of Boko Haram terrorists in the Nigerian Air Force surveillance, intelligence and reconnaissance missions in Parisu and Takwala villages. The villages are believed to have been harboring the terrorists. Air Vice Marshal Olatokunbo Adesoya, the Air Force spokesman, revealed this yesterday in a statement issued to journalists in Maiduguri. According to him, intelligence reports on the exact locations of the terrorists enabled the successful operation using an Alpha jet aircraft loaded with rockets and cannons, after which ground forces engaged the remnants and neutralized them. Meanwhile, fighter jets have hit no fewer than 3 communities in Benue State in an operation that raised tension yesterday in Katsina-Ala local government area. According to Adesoya, the NAF's Public Relations and Information Director, the operation is ongoing and he cannot disclose further details at this time. The NAF aircraft are collaborating with other security services in Katsina-Ala. Only last week, gunmen dressed in military fatigues attacked the commander of the Nigerian Army Engineering Corps, Major General John Malu, in his hometown, Se Ado. According to reports, the gunmen stormed his home, shooting sporadically at the building, but were repelled by soldiers on standby. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has failed to account for the spending on the privatization of the electricity sector and has led to a suit by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. The suit was filed last week at the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, Lagos. SERAP seeks, amongst others, an order for leave to apply for judicial review and an order of mandamus directing and/or compelling Fashola to provide specific details on the privatization of the electricity sector. It also wants the names of all the companies and individuals involved to be made public, preferably on a dedicated website. He noted that millions of Nigerians continue to be exploited through the use of patently illegal estimated billing system by discos. SERAP said, one wonders the essence of the privatization if there has been no corresponding improvement in power for Nigerians. The Federal Capital Territory Administration says the curfew imposed on Buhari from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. has now been extended indefinitely. This was contained in a statement signed by Mr. Abubakar Sani, Special Assistant to the Minister on Media. An earlier statement had said the curfew would end on Sunday, but due to concerns of security and avoidance of reprisals, it has now been left until further notice. The FCTA has also added that it was recently concerned over attempts by some hoodlums trying to play back the December 25, 2017 crisis in Buhari Area Council. Reports reaching the administration indicate that some of the miscreants took advantage of the ongoing Eid al-Fitr celebrations to launch attacks on innocent residents of the town on Saturday, June the 16th. Fortunately, the security agencies immediately swung into action and have since brought the situation under control. For the avoidance of doubt, the FCT administration shall not condone any attempts by any group or persons to precipitate the breakdown of law and order in the Buari Area Council, or indeed in any part of the Federal Capital Territory, the statement read. And on the foreign scene, rejected refugee ship finally berths in Spain. More than 600 migrants and refugees who were rescued from the Mediterranean and turned away by Italy and Malta have arrived in Spain. The refugees finally set foot on dry land at the Spanish port of Valencia, arriving in 3 boats. Spain's government says it will investigate each asylum case and provide all migrants free healthcare. Health officials and interpreters are already on ground to offer support, while over 2,300 people have rallied together to help arriving migrants and refugees. Those already on ground include 1,000 Red Cross volunteers, 400 translators, and around 450 national police and civil guards. It is, however, unclear how many will qualify for refugee status, as majority are from sub-Saharan African countries, which do not have high asylum approval rates within the European Union. An army airstrike in Iraq's Saladin province, north of Baghdad, has left 6 Daesh terrorists dead. A military source confirmed this on Sunday. According to Army Lieutenant Salahuddin al-Jabouri, the Hashad al-Shabi forces located 6 Daesh militants, surveyed their hideout in Saladin's southern Ishaqi sub-district. Iraqi warplanes later struck the position, destroying the hideout and killing everyone inside. Reports indicated the slain militants had been planning to carry out attacks on both military and civilian base. In December, there were reports indicating that the terrorists have vacated the area. However, with this recent attack, it shows they still have a strong presence in the Saladin province. Britain's Home Secretary Sajid Javid said on Sunday that he had been a victim of moped thieves several months ago on his way home. Javid is now using this experience as a way to improve the way in which the British police can curb this growing problem. Moped thefts are on the rise across the UK, especially in the capital, and is one of the violent crimes in London that have drawn national attention. Along with moped thefts, knife crime has also been on the rise, and only this year did the murder rate in London exceed New York's. And in business, in a recent briefing of President Muhammadu Buhari by Mr. Okoye Obono-Obla, chairman of the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property, on the panel's activities so far, it revealed that $7 million illegally kept in Heritage Bank have been recovered. Mr. Obono-Obla also disclosed that 533 million naira and land worth 1.5 billion naira was earlier recovered from the previous management of Nexim Bank, but has since been returned to the bank. The panel went on and recovered and returned a part of Agura Hotel belonging to the Nigerian Ports Authority. According to him, the part of the hotel that was recovered was illegally annexed for the past 2 decades by some powerful and untouchable persons. The federal government may have to bear the burden of a 200 billion naira cost of the second Niger bridge, as the private sector investors originally penciled down for collaboration are pulling out of the deal. Plus TV Africa gathered that the Ministry of Power Works and Housing, Federal Controller of Works, and the Anambra State government may have reached an agreement on the new arrangement. According to the ministry, the era of public-private partnership of the ongoing second Niger bridge has ended. It said the PPP model approach was no longer working, as it slowed the progress of the project, hence the government's decision to take up full responsibility. Spokesman for the minister, Hakeem Bello, said government is now making budgetary provision for the project, insisting that the government has the funds needed to follow the project to the end. It said phases 1 to 3 of the project, which were awarded as contracts, have been completed, and works ongoing phase 4 are continuously happening. And it's over to Kumbo for entertainment.
In entertainment, US-based political activist Dana Loesch has reacted to Chimamanda Adichie's comments on chivalry, saying there are more important things to worry about. Chimamanda, in an earlier interview, had said she was quite happy for people to hold the door for her, but that she would be ticked off if they were doing so because of chivalry. Loesch's reaction to the statement was to ask the popular author to focus on the female genital mutilation in Nigeria rather than chivalry and calling out sexism in Western culture. The political commentator said about Adichie, "I don't think she understands quite the concept of chivalry, which was a code of conduct for gentlemen. With all due respect to Adichie, and I'm familiar with her, I think it's a luxury of third-wave feminism to complain about holding doors open for people where her country, Nigeria, ranks top in the world for female genital mutilation, which I think is far more of a disservice to women and far more suppressive than someone cautiously opening the door for someone else." Chimamanda is yet to respond to Loesch's reaction. Hollywood actress Angelina Jolie is continuing her humanitarian work overseas with the United Nations, and the latest UN trip includes an Iraqi visit amidst news custody agreement with Brad Pitt. The trip, which marks her 61st mission, was on Saturday, and the destination was West Mosul, Iraq. Her visit to the city and its destruction left her emotional, as she said it was the worst devastation she had seen in all her years working with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. The visit came days just after it was learned that Jolie and Pitt had a temporary custody agreement by the court, where the judge stated not having a relationship with their father is harmful to them. Sources say the new custody arrangement is a breakthrough for Jolie and Pitt, as they had had little communication prior. Popular Nigerian singer WIZKID recently walked the Dolce & Gabbana runway with supermodel Naomi Campbell. Both the singer and the supermodel were seen in pictures shared by each of them on social media. He walked for the designer's latest men's fashion collection in Milan on Saturday. Campbell has backed WIZKID's craft lately, particularly during his musical concert at the O2 Arena in London, and tweeted, "Doing the gangster walking with my little bro WIZKID Ayo for Dolce & Gabbana Spring-Summer 2019. The 37-year-old reality TV star Kim Kardashian West says she will not rule out running for public office, including even if the office of the President of the United States. After her interview with the President Donald Trump, which led to the pardon of a non-violent drug offender who was serving a life sentence, Kim is mulling her political prospects and won't rule out the White House. In an interview with CNN, she said she's not done with where she's currently at. "I guess never say never." Kim says she just wants to help to start with one person at a time. The reality star suspects and suggests that if more people will put their personal feelings aside and talk more about important issues that have to be discussed, then so much can get done. Kim Kardashian West used her position to help free Alice Johnson, a Tennessee granny and a first-time offender who had served 21 years of a life sentence for cocaine possession and other charges. Kim feels no matter what political party anyone belongs to, people feel what's right is right, and that's what I love about this. It can just be so bipartisan. That's it on entertainment. Up next is Udoka with the sports news.
And this is Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku. Well, the game just ended between Costa Rica and Serbia, and Alexandra Kolarov scored a sensational free kick as his team, Serbia, got their campaign off to a winning start. And Kolarov scored in the 56th minute, bending a 25-yard free kick over the wall and into the top left corner of the goalkeeper. And both sides were unable to find a breakthrough in the first half of their Group E opener. And now, of course, over to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Nigerian pacey forward Ahmed Musa could possibly get a starting shirt in the Super Eagles' next game against Iceland on Friday. And this was confirmed by the head coach, General Raw. And Musa started off the bench in the Super Eagles' opening game against Croatia. And the team have actually put the game behind them and will concentrate on the next game against Iceland on Friday in Volgograd. And in the Nigerian Professional Football League, the next match day will be in 31 days as the league is on break. And Lobby Stars still top the log with 43 points after 24 games. And Akwa United are second with 41 points. Kano Pillars and Enyimba are joint on points in third and fourth position, respectively. And Atlanta FC of Owerri still find themselves rooted bottom of the log with 20 points, and it's looking likely that they might be returning to the Nigerian Professional Football League. Over to the Italian Serie A, Frosinone will feature in the Serie A for the second time next season after a last-minute goal saw them overcome Palermo following a chaotic and controversial second-leg affair. And Frosinone won Palermo 3-2 on aggregate, winning the second leg 2-0 at home after Palermo won the first leg. And at a point in the game, Palermo thought they had a penalty soon after a foul on the edge of the area, only for the referee to change his mind and give a free kick after protest from the Frosinone players. And Frosinone substitute Paweł Davidovich was shown a red card from the bench for dissent amid this chaos. And in the latter stages, other subs were seen rolling balls onto the pitch in an attempt to disrupt the game as Palermo put the host under huge pressure. However, Camilo Chiano slotted in an injury time winner for Frosinone to spark a pitch invasion and send them back to Serie A along with Empoli and Parma. And in tennis, Roger Federer beat Milos Raonic to win the Mercedes Cup in Stuttgart, his first event for 2.5 months. And Federer had not played since the Miami Open in March after choosing to miss the clay court season. But the win in Germany gives him a 98th tour title, and Federer beats the Canadian, that's Raonic, 6-4, 7-6 in the final. And the 20-time Grand Slam champion had already secured his return to #1 in the world rankings with victory over Nikirios in the semi-final. And the only break of serve came in the third game of the match, with Federer clinching it with a backhand winner. And Federer also sat out the clay court season in 2017, but last year lost on his return in Stuttgart before going on to win the Gary Weber Open in Halle and claim an 8th Wimbledon title. He will again compete at Halle next week, aiming for a record 10th title before Wimbledon, which begins on the 2nd of July. But that's it for Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Back to you, Lakme.
And that's it with us from the News on the Hour. I'm Lakme Banjo. Do have a great evening.